We're at the fourth lesson, okay? And the today's lesson will be about as-suq, okay? As-suq. So what is as-suq? As-suq is the market. The market, okay? Here's the market. So why are we saying the market? Okay, because we have here alif lam. Remember what we talked about last time? That when we have alif lam, it indicates that alif lam is same thing as the in English language. So it indicates a definite noun, right? So because we have the word souk, right? Souk. So this one is a market, okay? A market. So any market, right? So when we have uh, without alif lam, remember what we said before, that by default, the word has tanween, right? It's like that, so suqun. Okay, so we'll be talking a little bit more about the definite, indefinite nouns in this lesson. Okay, so when we have suqun, this tanween, indicates what? This tanween indicates indefinite. Indefinite. Okay, so when we have a tanween in a word, it means that the word is indefinite, right? Sukun, a market, right? Just like in English, a market means indefinite. We don't know which market, right? So likewise, when we have tanween in Arabic language, it means indefinite. So any market, a market. So now we have as-suqu. Okay, as-suq. So what does that mean? That means the market. So remember what I said last time, how we make something into definite. What we have to do is we have to add alif lam, right? Al, which is the. So how do we combine them? So few things we have to note. So when we combine like in English, the and the market, it's separate, right? But in Arabic language, alif lam cannot stand by itself. It simply cannot float here by itself. It needs to be connected, right? So then we have to, first thing we have to do is we have to connect with this word. Okay, so now we have a souk. Okay, this part is good. Now the second thing we have to know is, what do we do with here? Do we say asukun? Huh? Because we have this word is sukun, right? We added alif lam. Now do we say sukun? Think about what we're saying. We said that tanween is indefinite, right? And alif lam is definite, right? So how can we have definite and indefinite in the same word, right? It's like saying the a market. So it doesn't work, right? You cannot say the article, and then you cannot say a at the same time. You have to know whether it's a definite or indefinite. So likewise, we cannot do that. Once we add alif lam, we cannot have tanween. Okay, so we have to drop the tanween. So when we say we're dropping the tanween, means that we're just losing. Tanween basically is one of two of the same harakat, right? So we can have tanween of dhamma, which is here, dun. We can have tanween of kasra, which is din, two kasra, and we can have tanween of fatha, which is done, like two fathas, right? So here we have tanween of dhamma, which what we explained before, that's the default case. Every word, every noun by default will have tanween of dhamma. Kitabun, qalamun, maktabun, sukun, right? So when we lose the tanween, so what happens? We fall back into one of the dhamma. We don't lose everything. We lose just one of them. So what are we left with? We're left with one dhamma, right? So that means we're just getting rid of indefinite, because we cannot have alif lam, which we're saying is definite, and we cannot have tanween, which is indefinite. So that's what we have to do. We have to add the alif lam, and we have to lose the tanween. So the end result is as-suqu. Okay, as-suqu. So going back here, what's going to happen? What's going to be on the top of the qaf is one dhamma. As-suqu, the market. Okay, the market. So same thing we can do with most of the words that we've learned. Remember in the last lesson we were talking about ash-sharq. Okay, east is sharq, and when we want to say the east, we had to say ash-sharq. Okay, gharb, al-gharb, right? So same thing. We'll be seeing a lot of alif lam in this exercise, and this is something that we have to get used to it, right? جيد. So this lesson will be all about market, right? So we're going to market, and we will be getting a lot of vocabularies that has to do with things that we buy. Okay, so they're starting with food. So the first word is luhum. Luhum is meat as a plural, right? You might want to learn the singular, lahm. Okay, lahm. Maybe you can read it a little bit clearer. Maybe not. Lahm is it means meat, right? So then we have samak, which is fish. Okay, and then we have dajaj, which is chicken, and then we have jazzar. Jazzar is a butcher, right? Butcher, like meat cutter. Okay, right. Sure. So maybe, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then looks like we have lots of words that has to do with food, right? I don't think I have to write the definition because the picture looks very obvious. So I can probably read them, and if anything confusing, then I can probably write it down. So khubz is bread, right? That's fine. Looks like bread. Bayd is eggs. Okay. Halib is milk. Jubn is cheese. Burtuqal, burtuqal is what? Orange. Tufah is apple. And remember what I said before, that all of these words you can add tanween at the end, because by default they have what? These are indefinite, right? So there's no alif lam. So that means these are indefinite. So tufahun, tufahun, we can say tufahun. That means, apples, right? Mouse, which is banana. Jazar, carrots. Khiyar, cucumber. Tomatim, tomatoes. Batatis, potatoes. Basal is onion. And we have aruz, which is rice. There's another way we can say rice is ruz, without the hamza in the beginning. Okay, ruz. Okay, that's fine. We can say aruz, we can say ruz. Then we have dhura. Dhura is corn. Then we have hida, is shoe. Okay, and we have fustan, which is dress. And then we have nuqud, which is money. As you can see, these are all common words that we have them in our house, so we should be trying to use them as much as we can, right? Instead of, for example, just to practice, make sure we memorize them. For example, you need milk. Instead of saying milk, you can say, can I have halib? You don't have to say the whole thing in Arabic. We don't know how to say the whole thing in Arabic yet. So we can at least replace the word in Arabic, right? You can say, do we have any khubz today, right? Do we have any bread? So yeah, so try to use them in your daily conversation with your family. Okay, Jay. So that's it. These are the words that we have for this lesson, and then rest of these exercise and everything, they will be just using the same word, right? For example, we have souk, right, which is market. We know that Jazar is a butcher, right? Okay, so we have something here. Jazarun. So again, we can say jazar or we can say jazarun. Fi. Fi is what? We have another preposition. Remember, yes, last time we had few of the preposition. We had ila, which was to, right? We had fauqa, which is like on, above, or over, right? Now we have fi. Fi is in. Okay, fi is another preposition, is in. Then we have as-suq, same thing. So the market. So what's the translation? A, because this is what is indefinite. There's no alif lam, so we have to say a butcher is in the market. Remember, in a lot of times we have to add the is when we translate. In Arabic language, as I explained to you before, maybe I didn't, I'm not sure. In Arabic language, we don't have to say we don't have to write the is in the simple sentence, right? It's something that is understood in the language. So yeah, so keep that in mind. So few things I should explain here. Number one is, because this is part of the lesson today, which is some of the things that happens when we have preposition, right? In the last chapters, or the last chapter, we had few preposition, but we didn't talk too much about them from the grammatical perspective. But something that we have to talk in this lesson, which is that when a preposition comes in a sentence, there is an effect, or it impacts the word that comes next to it, right? So what is the impact? So we have fi, and we have the word next to it is asuq. So from our previous explanation, what did we understand? When we have asuq, right? When we have with alif lam, right? When we have with alif lam, we have to have one dhamma, right? Instead of two dhamma. Suqun, okay? Suqun, that was a market, right? As-suqu is the market, right? So what's the difference? Obviously, we have alif lam and we have one dhamma. We don't have the tanween, right? It changes. That's great. So here it should be what? As-suqun or as-suqu. It should be as-suqu, right? Because we have alif lam. But the issue is when we have a preposition before the word, before the noun, before the word, right? Then it impacts the word that comes after it, which is a suq. How does it impact? We cannot have dhamma anymore, okay? It changes to kasra, okay? Remember what I said before, that the last harakat of a word has to do with grammar. It has nothing to do with the word itself, not the pronunciation or the spelling. It indicates the state of the grammar. So basically, right now, all we have to know that after preposition, the word that comes will have a kasra. Okay, so we have fi, which is a preposition. So now we cannot have asuqu anymore. Okay, we cannot say asuqu anymore because of the preposition. We have to say asuqi. Okay, for example, we had another preposition that we learned, ila. Remember ila, which is to? So we can also say ila as-suq. Okay, maybe we're going to the market. So what's going to happen here? Ila as-suqi, because ila is also another preposition. You understand? So we'll be doing more exercise about these harful jar, this preposition. By the way, preposition in Arabic is harful jar. Okay. We don't have to worry too much about these terms, names in Arabic right now. If we're comfortable understanding from English words like preposition, that's fine. But there's some differences, and we will learn them slowly. As you can see, slowly we're learning grammar rules, right? So that's fine. So basically what it's saying, Jazzarun fi suqi, that means a butcher is in the market. Okay, makes sense? Jade. So again, the word that we have these are the same words, so there's no point for me to go through them, but it's something that you should spend time. And if you're memorizing them, you have to practice. The more you see that word, more you're being exposed to the word. That means it will help you memorize and be and keep that memorization, right? So your memorization will be firm. Okay, so practice luhum, meats, dajaj, chicken, samak, fish, okay, as much as you can, okay? Same thing goes here, same type of exercise, halib. What is halib, right? Halib, we can say halib or halibun, milk, jubnun, cheese, baydun, eggs, you understand? Because these are what? All indefinite. But as soon as you add alif lam, al bayd, then you cannot say dun anymore. Al bayd du. Okay, so this is something you should, because we're building this concept of definite and indefinite, even though the book is not asking you here, but it's something you should practice yourself, right? So you read the word and see how can you say it in indefinite, right? Okay, so for example here, basal, okay, I know how to say basal, which is onion. So how do I say the basal, the onions? You add alif lam, okay? So try to take advantage of this exercise as much as you can. Otherwise, these pages is just, I don't want you to just flip through them, because it seems too easy. Take advantage, try different things, okay? The point is that we have to memorize these words and learn these new rules. Okay, same thing goes for this page as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now we have something new, which is what? The word هذا. Okay, the first thing is how to pronounce that word. If you look at the spelling, it is هذا. Here's the alif, there's no alif here, هذا, but actually there is a hidden alif here. Okay, so the pronunciation has to be هذا, right? Not هذا, it has to be هذا. Okay, so what is هذا means? This. The English word is this, هذا. So when you say هذا خبز, you're saying this is a bread. A bread. Okay. So how do we get a bread? A, because it's indefinite, right? That's why we're getting the A. This, okay, we're getting from hada. So what is? Remember what I said. Is something that usually in Arabic language, we don't use it in a simple sentence. There is a word for is, but we don't use it. Okay, so it is something that I understood. In English, we cannot say this a bread, but in Arabic we can. هذا خبز, this a bread. But in English, we have to use that helping verb, which is. This is a bread. Okay, it's something something to know when we're translating this sentence. Okay, so hada is a very powerful or important word, because with hada you can pretty much make after hada you add any indefinite noun and you have a sentence. You have a pen, you want to say this is a pen, hada qalam. That's it. You have a book, which is kitab, and you want to say this is a book, hada kitab. This is a book, right? For example, samak, fish, hada samak, this is fish. Okay, mouse, hada mouse, this is banana, right? Right. Now, I don't know if I should mention it, because the issue with some of these these words is that when you don't have, because mouse can mean plural, like bananas, right? You can also use it as a singular, banana, but it can also mean plurals. If you want to be very explicit that you're talking about one banana, then you have to bring ta marbuta. So you have to say mauzatun or mauza, right? It's something that I don't think you have to pay too much attention right now, but just in case you come across and you're confused, I didn't mention that, whatnot. Same thing with the samak. When you say samak, it is plural. But here's the funny thing, because in English also we don't say fishes, right? We say fish. So you can think of like that, right? You can think of like that, the samak is fish in meaning wise, but we can look at the word as just fish, right? But if you definitely want to be, you know, you know, explicit that we're talking about one fish, then you have to add the ta marbuta, samaka. Okay, anyway, so that's that. Now we have tadribat, which is exercises. So at tadrib al-awwal, as usual, as always, these are the vocabulary words that you need to know from this lesson. Looks like there are a lot of them, but that's good. So for example, like a lot of these things, it's just something that we have to memorize, right? Suq, market, luhum, meat, samak, fish. Just go through them, memorize it. We have few interesting words like fi, which is preposition in, right? We have hada, which is this, which is a demonstrative pronoun. In Arabic, we say ismu ishara, right? Um, what else? What else? Remember, aruz, you can also say ruz, which also means rice. And just keep in your mind that some of these words are meaning wise plural. Mouse here, it means bananas. If you want to say one banana, you can add tamarbuta. Anyway, as I said, I don't want you to pay too much attention, but I'm just giving you that information. Jayid, the next exercise at tadrib thani, which is our famous or infamous exercise, which is connecting. But as I explained to you before you connect, make sure you know the word. Khubz, bread, here's a khubz, khubz. Souk, market, here's a market. Okay, please follow through these exercises. Okay, don't skip any of them. Then we have at-tadrib al-thalith, which is third exercise. Okay, this one looks a little bit different in a sense that they give you picture and you need to match them. So we have mouse. What is mouse? Apple? No, mouse is banana. So you connect, right? Burtuqal. Okay, tufah. Again, you want to know what burtuqal is. Oranges, right? Tufah is apple, and you connect apple. Okay, so I think you can do the rest, right? Yes, maybe. Jayid. The next one is at-tadrib al-rabi', which is the writing exercise. So something that you should go through by yourself, okay? Right. And then we have tadrib al-khamis, which is listening or hearing. Here basically they have two different similar sound letters, ta and ta, right? Ta and ta. So if you don't know, you need to understand the difference. For example, here, taba is going to be taba. Teen, teen. Fitna, fitna. Okay? So something that you can practice yourself. Okay? Then we have at-tadrib al-sadis, which is sixth exercise. It's talking about هذا. Okay, so they give you a little bit more exercise on هذا, right? So mouse, هذا mouse. Banana, this is banana. So حذاء, shoe, هذا حذاء. This is shoe. تفاح, هذا تفاح. جزار, هذا جزار. This is a butcher, right? Okay, so go through this exercise. We have a tadrib al-sabi', the fifth exercise. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, the grammar exercise. So I explained to you in that we have a preposition, right? This is a preposition, which is fi. And what I explained to you that when we have a preposition, the word after that will get what? A kasra. And we have a kasra here, right? So this is something I'm going to spend a little bit time explaining again. So let's read what he's saying. Al-Kitab fil haqibati. Okay, here they're focusing on the grammar element of the word that it comes after the fi, which is preposition, which means in, right? So what is Al-Kitab? Al-Kitab is the book. So now, is it going to be Al-Kitabun, Al-Kitaban, Al-Kitabin, or Al-Kitabu, Al-Kitaba, Al-Kitabi? What's going on? So we have to go back to the initial rule that I gave you. By default, when there is no reason to do something, you assume everything is Dhamma. So it's going to be Kitabun. But then when you have Alif Lam, well, you cannot say Kitabun, Tanwin anymore. So you fall back to Dhamma. So it's going to be Al-Kitabu. You don't change this one from Dhamma to Kasra or Fatha if you don't have any reason. Okay? So you're studying here, there's no, harful jar preposition, there's nothing going on. So you assume it's the default case. So what is it? Dhamma. So we have Al-Kitabu, then we have Fi, then you have Al-Haqiba. Now we have to know what to do here. Do we put Al-Haqiba too? Because we have Alif Lam and, no Tanwin? No, yes. But the issue is we have a Fi. So there's a rule when you have a preposition that it has to be Kasra. Okay, you understand? So now you cannot say Al-Haqiba too anymore. So the translation will be the book is, again, that is, we have to bring that is in the bag, right? We had we had Haqiba before, remember? Before we had Haqiba, which is Haqiba without Alif Lam, it's going to be Haqibatun, which is bag. So, right. So let's see the next one. At-tabashiru, right? At-tabashiru fi sunduqi. You're getting it now? So the first one, we have Alif Lam. So we have At-tabashiru. And then we have fi as-sunduqi because we have harful jar. Okay? Right. Then we have Al-baydu, right? Fi sunduqi, same thing. Okay? The egg is in the box. Then we have Al-qalamu fil haqibati. The pen is in the bag. Let's see something here. The pen is in the bag. Okay. What if I want to say the pen is in a bag, any bag? Okay, here we have the bag, al-haqiba. So what we have to do, only thing we have to do is remove the alif lam, right? So what happens if we remove the alif lam? So we have haqiba, haqiba. Now the issue is we had, because we're still talking about this sentence, because we still have preposition. We want to say in a bag. So imagine we still have the preposition fi. So now are you going to say hafi haqibati? No, because the alif lam is gone, right? So you have to get back your tanwin. Fi haqibatin. Understand? Did I confuse you? Maybe? Good. Anyway, you can, it's something that you can try to think about yourself. So basically remember the tanween stays when there is no alif lam. So if you remove the alif lam, you have to get back your tanween, right? For example, qalam, we have al-qalamu here, but if we remove the alif lam, it's going to be qalamun. You can play this game. You remove alif lam, you get the tanween back. You put it back again, you remove the tanween. You take it back again, you get the tanween back. You understand? So that's the concept. Because if you don't have alif lam, that means you're talking about indefinite word. So the way we indicate indefinite is by tanween. Same thing as writing a. In English, you cannot just say pen. This is pen. You cannot say that, right? You need to put a because that indicates that it is indefinite, right? So anyway, so if you didn't understand, that's fine. As long as you understand what is the most important thing in this lesson, which is that we have a preposition and then we need a kasra after the word. So how many prepositions we had so far? We had ila and we had fi. Ila is to, fi is in. In English, fawqa, remember we had fawqa? Fawqa is also preposition, which is on or over or above. All of them will work. But in Arabic, anyway, it's fine. As long, if you understand fawqa is also preposition, that's fine. So we had all three prepositions. And the rule, the same rule applies for all three of them. Okay? Right? Well, it's not going to make sense if we say ila instead of fi, because you cannot have the book to the back. But we might be able to say fawqa, right? We can say al kitabu fawqa. Fawqa al haqibati, same story. If you have fawqa, you still have to have the kasra. Okay? So yeah, something that you need to get used to. Inshallah, these things will come a lot. But if you're getting it, you understand what's going on a little bit, that's fine. But if not, please rewatch this video and inshallah it will help you, right? So again, we have Tadrib al-Thamin, 8 exercise they give you here. I think it's showing you different harakat with the ba. So the first one starts with baid, with the fatha. The second one starts with kasra, bitaqa, right? And the third one starts with dhamma, which is burtuqal, right? So make sure you understand all three of these words. Tadribu tasi', the ninth exercise is writing, right? And at-tadribu al-ashir is also writing, right? Okay. So with that, we have reached our end of the lesson. Basically, this lesson was jam-packed, I would say, because especially it had a lot of words and it also had few grammar things that we learned, right? So quick overview. Okay, so in terms of new words, it just basically the 4 words here and then whatever words we have in this page, okay? But then we had a discussion about definite and indefinite, right? So we have to understand this one. So, you know, indefinite, we have tanwin, sukun, and when we have definite, we have to add alif lam, and then we have to lose the tanwin. So it's going to be as-suqu. And then we learned something about harful jar, preposition, right? That after preposition, we have kasra. We cannot have dhamma anymore, right? Instead of as-suqu, when we say fi, you have to say as-suqi. Okay, good. And then we learned also a ismul ishara, which is hadha, this, right? And we said that after hadha, if whatever indefinite noun we say, hadha khubzun, it becomes a sentence. This is a bread. And we talked about that is something that we have to put in the English translation. It is something that understood in Arabic language. We don't write it. Okay, so it's something to keep in mind. Okay, so with that, inshallah, I'll end here. I will see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.